Hey guys, I'm Ben from ZSPAN, and today we are on our way to Delaney Hall, a place where immigrants are allegedly being kept in terrible conditions. As you could tell, there is very high police presence over here, and we're going to take you straight to the hall. No bull, so let's get into it.
Newark, where violent clashes continued for yet another night outside the migrant detention center. New video shows ICE agents hitting protesters with batons at Delaney Hall. Because there's a security perimeter now set up a half a mile from the ICE detention facility. And tonight at 9 p.m. there will be a curfew.
White House border czar Tom Homan denied reports that there are inhumane conditions inside New Jersey's largest ICE detention center.
Standing in solidarity with the detainees that are inside of Delaney Hall, they say that they are facing inhumane conditions as a hunger strike is happening just inside.
Having worked with New Jersey State Police and local law enforcement, I know how well trained they are, the best in the nation. I trust them to follow our Constitution. I knew it would be better to have them handle the situation rather than ICE.
I'm out here to support the people that are locked up inside the Delaney Hall Detention Center. I'm not a local. I traveled in for this from the West Coast. I've been watching this stuff happen for a long time, but last year I started to understand that it wasn't getting better because we were just worrying about it. We had to start doing something. We have to protect the rights that people have in this country, and a lot of people seem to misunderstand that those rights only apply to someone who's born here, or they only apply to somebody who's the right color, or they only apply to somebody who's friends with the president, or whatever reasons they have. Those rights that people like me, who were not perfect, they did a lot of wrong things, but they fought to set up some basic rules, and we've been trying slowly to improve on those rules for a long time, treating people the same no matter the color of their skin. We got that wrong for a long time. We made progress. We don't need to go back. We've been there before, you know? We don't need to go back to that. And right now it's feeling like it's the 1960s. Maybe it's the 1920s and this is the rise of fascism.
Yeah.
It sure looks like it.
It sure looks like it.
One way or another, there's got to be a movement of people standing up and saying this is not going to stand. We obviously are not getting the support of local law enforcement. We're not getting the support of the state government. You know, they're capitulating. So we're just going to keep showing up, and we're going to keep dragging them out here and making them waste their time, you know, to prove the point that all they really need to be doing is freeing the people inside. If they went into Delaney Hall and arrested everybody in there right now, then they'd have to get arraigned, appear before a judge, and be released on bail. So, like, the best thing the Newark police could do for us is go arrest them.
And what is currently taking place in Delaney Hall right now?
Right now, there are immigrants being held in there without a trial. One person was just released who was there for 7 months.
An 18-year-old, correct?
Yes, and was just released. Now, if they were supposedly a criminal, if they were a violent person, if they were, what are they, the worst of the worst, or all this BS, why did they let her go? Well, I don't understand, you know. But we do know that most of these people are not criminals. Or if they've committed a crime, it's the crime of wanting to live in a place that's safe, where they can be prosperous. You know, and that doesn't make me uncomfortable. The idea that somebody else is here, the idea that somebody else might get a job because they'll work hard. That was the whole point of being here, was that you could be successful because you work hard. Like, I think, honestly, it's people who look like me that forgot that.
Yeah.
They're worried about getting unseated by somebody else. You know, they want a cush life. I'm sorry. You know, like, this is a place for anybody that wants to be here.
Yeah. Do you think the American dream is still achievable?
That's a good question. I think we're answering that right now. And it's going to depend on everybody out there and their willingness to show up, stand out here all day, to get arrested or huff a little tear gas or whatever they got to do. Go vote. Go find your local elections. Support people in local elections that have your values. Get them into office, because a lot of the power starts at the local level. It feels like we can't fix anything because it's all the way over there. It's not that simple. Most of the decisions are made in your city, in your state. So start there, work your way up. We can fix this, but the powers that be on both sides of the aisle are not going to fix this for us. We're going to have to do it the hard, long way. You You know, that means a lot of protests, a lot of showing up, a lot of sit-ins. Let's bring back the freedom rides, and let's get into office. Don't wait, the Democrats aren't going to save us. Let's go run and replace those Democrats.
At 8 o'clock, I asked every cop up here, where can I go?
Right.
Nobody could give me any directive, and then you start arresting people.
Right.
It's not right. There's nothing about that that's right.
Right. So she was sent here from the mayor so that doesn't happen.
But who's she going to speak to get this directive?
Well, after
nobody that's at the highest in command.
No.
The highest in command, nobody knows.
I understand what you're saying.
So are all charges dropped for people? Last night they were asking the same question.
I can't answer that question.
I know, but all charges should be dropped.
I can't answer that question, sir. I can't answer that question.
You understand the fallacy behind all of this? If people were asking this question last night and they got arrested, it's bullshit, man.
I just know that the mayor does not want that to happen.
Tonight,
right?
but you wanted to happen last night.
No. I'm not saying that at all. That's not what I'm saying.
I understand.
So the
nobody
mayor
can
sent our
articulate
deputy
2
mayor
nights in a row.
here
Nobody
to
can
be able to
articulate
find
the
out what the directive is, so that nothing like that happens.
She's finding it out from us. I'll tell you what the directive should be. But the sergeant doesn't know. The lieutenant, nobody knows anything.
But I'm saying to you,
we could have prevented 70 people from getting arrested last night if people could articulate what you need from us. But nobody could do it. And we're here day 2, and nobody overnight could thought about that?
It certainly seems like the intention is to be ambiguous so that people don't quite know, and then they can trap us in.
Right, I understand.
Lieutenant over there, that lieutenant doesn't know anything. The sergeant over there doesn't know anything.
But what I know for an absolute fact is our mayor sent our deputy mayor here so that would not happen.
Maybe they should have done this yesterday.
The absolute fact is that last night they trapped people in here, and we were asking these same questions yesterday, and they didn't give us any. In fact, they told us lies. They told us things that weren't true. They said you have to be a half mile from this location, which is
the
factually
press release
untrue.
States otherwise. The press release states from Delaney Hall. Half a mile. We're 0.4 miles away from Delaney Hall. 0.4 right now. We went to the other side of the street and we were still being arrested over there. That's a half of a mile over there. It's not right, dude. None of this shit's right, man.
Love, not hate, makes America great. 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 Love, not hate, makes America great.
I'm out here today because, I mean, obviously this is all ridiculous, right? But mostly because I volunteered on Mikey Sherrill's campaign, and I feel like I have a...
Who's Mikey Sherrill, for those who don't know?
The governor of New Jersey, who came out with she essentially had the state police tear gas protesters and is lying to us, much like the Trump administration does, about what we can see on video with our own eyes. I feel resentful that I advocated for people to vote for her, and she is betraying us and acting like the cop that I kind of always knew she was.
Yeah. And I guess why should people be out here today?
Because, I mean, guys, what is going on? If you're not out here, if you're still on your phone, if you're watching Real Housewives, me too. But like that's an at-night thing. These are the things that we get to do when we have a civilized, functioning society, sports and entertainment, right? We don't fucking have that right now. So instead of all your leisure, get out and support your neighbors.
Last night, I left before any of the detainments or anything happened. I actually got in from Minneapolis yesterday and went pretty much straight to Delaney. Everything was peaceful during the day. There were some confrontations with, like, you know, ICE cars wanting to get in or out, and the police would have to, like, moderate that, but it didn't get violent or anything. It tends to only get, you know, really spicy at night. So it got to be about, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I noticed people started putting on their gas masks, and I'm like, oh, it's spicy time? And they're like, yeah, it's spicy time. And then we heard a rumor that they were going to start pushing us out at 7 instead of 9. And they did start gearing up. They brought a lot more police. We started seeing huge numbers of police in front of us. And then we could also see police lining up on the streets behind us, not like out of their vehicles, but obvious police vehicles, as well as two buses filled with police with riot gear. And then we also heard that there were about 15 horses coming in from the north side with cops on them. And so we realized that they were going to kettle us, which for anybody who doesn't know, kettling is when the police trap you in a certain area and then close it down so no one can leave and arrest everyone there typically. And so I left with the medic supplies because when all of the medics decide to leave, it's probably a good time to get out of there. And so But you know, that's not always how I do. But last night I did leave with the medic supplies, and the horses showed up about 15 minutes later, and they ended up doing mass arrests. They arrested 63 people, including media. They wouldn't give one media organization their journalists back. They were demanding their journalists back, and they just wouldn't. And so yeah, just one by one they laid them down and arrested them. They pushed media back. At first they said to the front of this bus, and then they got to the front of the bus, and the police were like, keep going, and the media people were like, we made an agreement, we have to be able to see. Yeah. But they didn't want them to be able to see. And then they were held overnight, all 63 of them, including media, without even being processed until just now.
So what brings you out here today?
Honestly, I came to support. I came to come out to show up.
And what have you seen?
These cops have been causing traffic on purpose. They're going to say it's us, that we were standing in the middle of the road, but it's not the truth. They literally directed and made a gridlock. I watched that happen in real time. They told that guy to come here, told this guy to come here, and then they were literally just stuck. And they're running around like chickens without their heads, asking the other guys, whistling, what do I do? What do I do? What do you mean, what do you do? You're the one that told him to go. Stop in this truck. They had trucks backed up by over an hour and a half that way. Over an hour and a half you created traffic, but then we're gonna get blamed for it as though we're in the street stopping the trucks moving. We didn't stop them. We got out the way. We've been on the sidewalks for the most part. You're the ones causing traffic and saying shit. Other cops were fucking smiling. One of them, I'm pretty sure he shot that other guy yesterday, and he was smiling at him, laughing, fucking giggling like he thought it was funny. What the fuck about this is funny?
And were you here yesterday?
No, sadly I wasn't. I haven't been able to get here till today, but I sure as shit will continue to show up.
And do you know people who've been affected by ICE?
Honestly, I don't know anyone personally to my family who's been affected by ICE, but I know people. My friend's brother got deported last year. That dude, he was literally coming home from work. He got pulled over, and they ended up putting him in jail. And then from jail, he was supposed to, because shit escalated, he was supposed to get, like, you know, his lawyer and other stuff. And then ICE agents just fucking showed up. Once he got freed, he made bail. Boom, that dude was off. They said they barely got to talk to him within 24 hours. What the fuck? How the hell does that even happen?
Literally, they had army gear on. They are charging at us. We are peaceful. I ask that everybody please look at the videos. We are extremely peaceful. The violence, yes, the violence came from the state. So Governor Cheryl, you did worse than what ICE did to us. That's all I want you to know that. There's shame on you.
How do you feel about people being charged with felony riot charges? In contrast with it certainly appearing like the state being the ones that are rioting.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that it is the state that's claiming that we're rioting and we're extremely peaceful, and it is the state that is actually committing the violence. So it's a reminder to all of us that we need to make sure we're calling out state violence. It is not okay. It is our constitutional right to assemble. It is our constitutional right to have free speech, and they're taking that away from us. I want to remind everyone, look at the Constitution. There is no clause that says designated areas for free speech. There is no clause. She's making it up.
Where was everybody else?
People weren't even expecting to get arrested. They literally kettled us. So they came this way, and then all of a sudden, police came this way. There's no way. They locked everybody up, and they said, oh, hell no, nobody's going anywhere. And literally started tackling people to the ground. This is just a glimpse. It's just a glimpse. The food was horrible. It is a glimpse of what they are facing over there. So if anything, this has strengthened our resolve to support those on the hunger strike. That's right! Free them all! 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 They're getting out.
Last night?
Of course, absolutely. The first thing that was thrown in the gas was the police department.
Y quiero que aprendas también a perdonar. No están solos. Sí se puede.
We aren't rioting. We aren't violent. We were just
What brings you out here today?
I'm independent media. I'm covering events on the ground. I'm also an activist, and I just wanted to come out and see that the protesters were being treated correctly and to make sure that everything was above board.
And how long have you been coming out here, and what have you witnessed?
I've been here since Friday, and I've witnessed kettling, excessive use of force, police violence, and I watched New Jersey State Police turn a peaceful protest into an active war zone.
And how did they instigate?
So I was right by the gates on Saturday night, which was probably one of the worst nights, and protesters were holding the line on a fence line much like this, and police began reaching over the fence line, grabbing protesters by the head, by the arm, female protesters. Other protesters yelled at them to stop, and then police began violently pushing the fence line forward with riot police already staged to their right. So.
And have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I've been in Chicago, LA, Minnesota. I've been down at Alligator Alcatraz all this year, and I've never seen anything like this.
Okay, we've all heard of Germany. We've all heard of Auschwitz. We all heard of the Holocaust. I never in my life thought I'd see it, and unfortunately, it's history repeating itself.
And do you think there's anything America can do from this point to improve?
Yeah, we can listen to history, because if you look back into history, during the Holocaust, a third of the people watched a third of the people kill, maim, and torture a third of the people. That left 10%. That 10% was called the White Rose Society, and that's what all these people here are. They're here to support. Back then, they would have to forge documents, smuggle people out of attics, smuggle food to them. And that's what we're kind of in a way doing. You know, we're here to support those people that a lot of Americans just don't believe are even happening.
Yeah, and with people being like snatched off the streets, what comparisons do you see with the Holocaust to what's going on right now?
The only difference is there's no cattle cars. You know, it's basically the same. They put them in cop cars, they put them in ICE vehicles. But so, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, people. And back then, during the Holocaust, they would use slave labor. They're doing the same thing, $1 a day for them to work, and it's not a choice. It's labor.
Yeah, and what have you heard or seen going on in the facility over there?
Well, just that the food is bad, like everywhere else. They're being mistreated. They're not getting any help. They're innocent and not getting legal help, medical help, food, all your basic necessities.
Yeah, and I guess what do you have to say to the Trump administration right now?
I don't think I can say that on camera. It's people.
You could say anything on camera on here.
Okay, well, you know what, people? Wake up. Wake up. Get out of your fucking mega asses. And come on down. If you don't believe what's happening, get your fucking asses down here and watch it, because you're all fucking cowards.
It is about 9 p.m. The curfew is about to be instilled. We're going to see what's going to happen once the curfew is instilled. Last night, there was a ton of police violence after the curfew. There was people being thrown to the ground. There were press members being arrested, and there were tons of people in general just arrested. People were beat. People were gassed. People were sprayed with rubber bullets. Honestly, it was a war zone. So we're going to be here tonight to cover what goes down, and stay tuned. We're currently here. The police are cracking down on protests right now. Peaceful protesters. There are hundreds of police officers on the scene. Everybody's being escorted off right now. There are still people in that facility being killed. The protest is getting actually insane right now, guys. The police are actually starting to encroach on the protesters.
These agitators are intimidating protesters and trying to get them to fight back.
There are multiple agencies on stand. We do not know if they're state or federal agencies, and then the police disclose what they are. I'm Ben with ZSPAN, and this has been Delaney Hall. As you can see, the police have already quelled all protests. Freedom of speech does not exist over here. They've designated a small zone over here where people are allowed to protest, but it seems like they're going to continue clamping up on protests all night. Make sure you follow ZSPAN to keep up to date with all the stuff that the news will not tell you. All the media is right over there. We're over here. We're in the source. So stay tuned. ZSPAN forever. Anything else you have to say to the world?
Fuck Donald Trump.